It's time for Health Coach with Dr. John Catanzaro from the Health and Wellness Institute in Mount Lake Terrace.
And it is time once again for Health Coach with Dr. John Catanzaro of the Health and Wellness Institute in Mount Lake Terrace. He's got great folks who work with him there. One of them is Matt Angove, and we have Dr. Matt with us again this week. Hi, Dr. Matt.
Hey, Mark. Good to be here.
Good to see you once again. And this week, continuing our discussion of diabetes and type 2 diabetes in particular. And this week, I want to get some clarity on how stress contributes to type 2 diabetes. What have you found in that area?
Right. So one thing I've definitely noticed is, some people have great diets. It seems like they're doing everything right. They're even, getting their exercise in, but yet their 70-hour work weeks or even family stuff or could be death in the family, and they'll still have very high blood sugar levels. A lot of it's just stress. And it's not so much stress because everyone has stress. It's more of, how their body's handling it.
So when you have type 2 diabetes, you can't handle the adrenaline that comes from that, or what's going on?
Well, there's, you hear about cortisol. Cortisol is something that's an issue there. And cortisol, if it goes up when there's a lot of stress, will end up causing your body to put a lot of fatty tissue around your abdominal region, which then will predispose you and increase your risk of not being able to use your glucose effectively, which will definitely lead you down to that road of type 2 diabetes. I think a big thing is people aren't taking time just to sit down and kind of smell the roses or look and say, okay, how, thankful or grateful or just, see everything around them or even, this beautiful day out here. Most people won't even notice that it's, sunny and 75 in Seattle today. So a big deal is just for helping with the stress is taking the time to say, okay, look at life, how things are. Especially if you have a relationship with the Lord, looking at, the goodness of life and, trying to get an internal perspective and things.
Maybe getting back to having a Sabbath.
Hey, that'd be
there's a good idea
for all of us. That'd be exceptional to have a Sabbath, a day of rest, and
the Bible says to. So.
Right. That can be extremely helpful.
So stress, a big contributor to type 2 diabetes. What are some other things that contribute to diabetes? Obviously, exercise and moving, or the lack thereof. I found diet alone does not help me with my type 2 diabetes, but a lot of times if I go out and take a walk after I've had maybe a meal, it just does wonders for my blood sugar levels.
Right.
Now, why is that? What's going on?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So what happens when you do something strenuous, especially like, brisk walking or weight training or circuit training, that kind of thing, your muscle cells actually open up and you no longer require any insulin to get the glucose into your muscle cells. The muscle cells will actually open up and glucose will automatically just go in. So if you exercise very, very regularly, even if you had type 1 diabetes, which requires insulin, your actual insulin need would decrease significantly, which is huge. If you can get yourself a pedometer, get out there, get 10,000 steps a day, you would be hard pressed to keep type 2 diabetes as part of your diagnosis.
Quickly back to some of the warning signs of diabetes. You said a lot of people don't know they have diabetes. Type 2, what are some warning signs maybe that somebody is developing diabetes? Right.
So, if you're feeling real sluggish, you're noticing you're starting to have to use the restroom a lot at night or even during the day, finding that you're thirsty all the time, very good signal, or even just clarity of mind, feeling like, man, I just cannot think like I used to be able to think. There's down the road, there's different neuropathies and stuff that can happen. But usually, basically, if a person has abdominal fat, or they notice, my girth is increasing.
That's half of America.
Right, exactly.
Why do some people who are quite heavy don't get diabetes? That's been, it's like, I carry some extra weight, but there's some people I've, just huge.
Right.
They don't have diabetes.
Right.
What's going on? Just good genes.
You could say that, but that doesn't mean, so they have insulin resistance. It would be impossible for them not to, but they may not be specifically diagnosed with diabetes per, a fasting glucose. But they have a lot of other inflammatory things that are occurring that are going to, shorten life.
So they're going to get it some other
Exactly. We're all predisposed to something. Exactly.
Well, I know that I can concur with that one thing you said about thirst. Remember when I who knows how long I was going undiagnosed for a while, but I was getting so thirsty. And I was drinking like a gallon of milk a day because I love milk. And I just couldn't get enough of it. And sure enough, I had type 2 diabetes, and it probably was blood sugars up into the 200-300 level, didn't even know it. And that's a killer.
Right. No, that's big time because that's very difficult on the kidneys and your blood vessels. The eyes. So it's really important for a person to make sure they get on top of that.
Well, for people who want to get on top of their type 2 diabetes struggles, how do they get in touch with you?
So you can check us out on our website at www.ehealthandhealing.com or give us a call at the office at 425-697-6112.
And more details and the ability to listen to past programs on our website at kcisradio.com. This has been Health Coach with Dr. John Catanzaro and one of his associates this week, Dr. Matt Angove on KCIS.
You've been listening to Health Coach with Dr. John Catanzaro from the Health and Wellness Institute in Mount Lake Terrace. For more information, visit ehealthandhealing.com or hwicancerresearch.org or call 425-697-6112. You can also listen to past programs and submit your questions for Health Coach at kcisradio.com.